What's up, Descendants? Getting Bob here. Today I got my final update for my Sharen Overcharged Edge build. And with this build we made significant changes, and now, with the perfect conditions, we're gonna be able to output 10 million damage with a single shot. So, the changes that I made to this build, they're... Let me lower down the volume of the music. So the changes that we did to this build are pretty significant. As you guys can see, we are now rocking HP instead of shields, and the reason is because shields are extremely bad in this game. And I was trying to make it work with this build, with the Overcharged Edge Transcendent module. But I ended up realizing that you do have to build for shields, but not in the way that we were thinking. But before we start the video, I want to thank you guys for the comments for build 2.0. It made me realize that we could be doing so much more instead of spending our resources for shields. And that's basically what made me completely overhaul the build for Sharen. Well, thank you guys for helping me achieve this better build, which is going to be pretty much better for the whole community. So to achieve the 10 million damage with the piercing light, first of all, I had to do a very important change to my weapon. I added inside focus because I really needed the firearm critical hit rate. 13 sounds like it's not too much, but it really makes a difference because right now I'm sitting at 63 basically, and without inside focus I have 57. It sounds like 6% and it's not a lot, but I'm telling you, it really makes a difference because with every single shot, trying to make it count, 6% is gonna make a massive difference, I'm telling you. That's how I was able to achieve the 12 seconds of our kill. Otherwise, it would have taken me probably 30 more minutes to get the kill. So overall, inside focus is gonna be extremely important in my opinion. More important than actually speccing for elements. Elements are pretty good, but to increase your overall damage output, having more firearm critical hit rate is gonna make a more significant impact, in my opinion, than adding elements. And the other significant changes that we made to this build are gonna be our external components. Previously, I said that we were gonna be using 2 of the Bravery set, and we were using the shield enhancement sensor and the processor. And the reason is because we were building for shields and defense, right? Now what I'm recommending is that we're using the Annihilation set, which is going to give us 26% more damage when our HP is at 50% or lower. That's going to be a very significant damage output change. What I do recommend for your external components though is that you look for shield recovery in combat, shield recovery out of combat, and shield recovery modifier. And the reason is because they actually are gonna make a significant change to our shield recovery. Currently, the Overcharged Edge module is bugged, but I'm almost 100% sure that it'll be fixed pretty soon. So having these modifiers or affixes for our external components are gonna make a massive difference to recover our shields extremely fast. As you can see, in less than 2 seconds I'm already at full capacity. And by using the Annihilation set, I'm gonna have even less defense, which is gonna make a bigger impact. We're gonna recover our shields in probably like a second or less. So those 3 affixes for external components are gonna be key with this build. We're not gonna be focusing on shields for Descendant modules. We're now gonna be focusing on increased HP and Stim Accelerant, and these are gonna make us extremely tanky now. We're basically on the opposite side of the spectrum with these 2 modules, because by spending our shields, we're not spending our HP resource, and we can stay tanky and we can still be receiving hits without us worrying. We're also going to be using increased defense, iron defense. These are going to be very important for the build because we want to be under 50% HP. So having more defense is key. bringing our defense to 46,000 and our HP to 15,000. And at 15%, we're gonna be having 7,500 HP, which is pretty big amount of HP if you ask me. The other modules from build 2.0, they're basically the same, except for this one. Instead of using conditional recharge, we're now using shield collector. This is not necessary, but if you guys have a better option instead of shield collector, go ahead and type it on the comment section below. I'm very interested to see how we can squeeze a little bit more damage for Sharen. And this spot is going to be obviously saved for shot focus. Shot focus and shield collector are both acquired by trading Descendant Cerulean modules with the module dude on Albion. So it's a big pain to get these two modules. I only have this one. I was extremely lucky to get it. Shot focus, I'm very unlucky. I'm not able to get that module. I've been trying for the past 4 days at this moment, and I've given up. It's a 15% increase to our firearm attack power. It's worth it. It's a considerable amount of damage. We would be able to do maybe like 10.2 million damage with that module. So if you get it, I highly recommend that you slot it in. First thing, basically. Everything else is going to be basically the same. These two are for cooldown. This one is for duration for our Overcharged Edge. Overcharged Edge is going to reduce the cooldown for our Overcharged Edge. And also, it's going to give us additional damage proportional to lost shields, which maximum amount of HP lost is 50%. And it's going to give us a 50% damage increase for those shields lost, giving us a total of 200% more damage when we go invisible. And lastly, mirror maneuvering for mobility. So those are going to be key for our Descendant to be tanky. And the external components are going to be key to recover our shields as fast as possible to increase our overall damage output. As far as the reactor, doesn't really matter for this build, but I do recommend that you look for a skill cooldown, because it's gonna reduce the cooldown for our Overcharged Edge, which is what we're looking for. Anything else for as far as skills, we didn't build for anything else, so we don't really care for anything else except for Overcharged Edge. And this build is gonna be useful for boss killing, for infiltration operations, or special operations. But for outposts, the only change that I would make is removing Overcharged Edge completely. The reason is because our duration for our active camo is going to increase to 14 seconds, which is very important because with a single cast, we're going to be able to destroy every single reactor on the outposts. Now, to get to 50% HP is going to be actually extremely simple. We're basically going to be using conditional recharge, the module that we were using for build 2.0. So we're gonna cast our skills, and this is gonna bring us to 50% HP at the start of the fight, and then we change to our bossing setup that we have, and now we're all set, and we have the annihilation set effect active, so that's an extra 25% damage increase, and that's literally it. That's the whole setup that we need now for the extra 25% for the annihilation set. Then we do the standard routine. We go for the reload. If you're using strength and first shot, then you use your Overcharged Edge. You aim for the head. If you're using weak point expansion, you don't need to reload your weapon. And that's going to be very important because weak point expansion, in my opinion, is actually better than strength and first shot. Some cases, strength and first shot is better. When paired with Enso, for example, I believe that strength and first shot is a little bit more impactful because you're actually going to be reloading your weapon. Guys, that's going to be all for this video. If you have any more suggestions for Sharen, let me know in the comment section below. Again, I really appreciate your comments. It's tough reading them sometimes because it kind of hits you on the ego. But it ends up helping the whole community to make a better builds for everybody. And that's what we're trying to achieve, right? We're trying to make better builds so that everybody can use and so that everybody can do as much damage as possible so that everybody can kill bosses faster. So that's basically it for this video, Descendants. If you want to see more videos for the first Descendant, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.